Hi there guys, welcome back to Play, Pause, Talk, and this is the weekly After the Pause show where I go over some of the biggest news that came out in the week that's just happened. We've got stuff to talk about Xbox, Bungie and Sony. Let's get into it. First up, let's talk about Xbox. And honestly, I think we're starting to see the clearest picture yet of what Asher Sharma's version of Xbox is actually going to look like. Xbox have just hired gaming analyst Matthew Ball as their new Chief Strategy Officer. Now, for those of you that don't know who Matthew Ball is, he's basically one of the most respected industry analysts in gaming. He's known for massive deep dive reports into the future of gaming, player behaviour, platform ecosystems, engagement trends, subscriptions, and creator economics. This is not a traditional executive gaming hire. I've gone through like some of the quotes and everything, and in one of them he says, "Our job is to turn around the business." That line stands out massively to me because that's not like your standard PR talk. That's turnaround language. Like Xbox openly admitting that whatever they've been doing is not working, which we've all kind of known anyway. But now the fact that they're saying it is a bit of a positive for all of us. And what is interesting is how they want to fix this. Not just through exclusive games, but through creator ecosystems, social gaming, engagement, and persistent communities. Basically, Xbox wants to compete for attention now, not just console sales. And honestly, that's a huge change in direction from the old Xbox 360 era. And this is why Xbox keeps talking about accessibility, cloud, Game Pass, ecosystem growth, creator-focused experiences, because Matthew Ball sees gaming now competing with TikTok, YouTube, Roblox, Fortnite, and other social media platforms, not just PlayStation. And I actually think this is quite fascinating in all fairness, like, because Xbox right now feels like a company that's trying to rediscover its identity. And the question is, can they make people feel emotional about it again while becoming this massive ecosystem? Like, don't get me wrong, like, back in the day, I really liked Xbox, but they just lost me during the Xbox One. I have come back during the Series era, but this whole thing that they're talking about with Helix right now, being like a PC type thing, whatever, I have got a few questions about that, because why would you open up your console to sell games through, say, Steam, for instance, because then you wouldn't get no money for that? Obviously, it's all about making money. So why would you sell games on Steam where you're not getting the full shebang, if that makes sense? So I don't know. Maybe there's a way they're going to just make it like Xbox PC and Xbox PC are together on the same thing, and it doesn't include other like marketplaces. But then why would you do that? I don't know. There's so many questions. Let's get into the next story. So, speaking of like identity crises, we need to talk about Bungie right now. Bungie has officially confirmed they're ending active live service development for Destiny 2 next month. And honestly, this again feels like the end of an era. They said in the quote out, the letter to fans, the final live service content update. And then there's like love letters to players, and you know, that wording tells you everything really, doesn't it? You know, this final update feels not like, oh, this is what we're doing next, this is the future. This is farewell to Destiny, in my opinion. I mean, the crazy thing is everyone online is kind of thinking that they're going to do Destiny 3, but there's been no announcement of that. There's no clear replacement. There's no roadmap. And, you know, considering that Sony has bought Bungie partly to lead their own live service future, it's pretty concerning, especially when they're shut down like The Last of Us online game because of Bungie. You know, and this is like says a lot about the wider industry in general. Like for years, publishers are now chased like battle passes, engagement metrics, forever games, live services. But now the people are like burning out of these, and players are fatigued by it, and there's massive budgets for these games, and studios are struggling to sustain these games long term now. And honestly, Destiny 2 might become one of the biggest examples of this. For me, I'm somebody who dabbled in Destiny 1 when it first came out and got a little bit more into Destiny 2 when it first came out, and I fell off a long time ago. But it is weird seeing Bungie in this position. This is one of those studios that's like one of the most influential in gaming. Like, look at their like back catalogue. They've got Halo, Destiny. They're now gone back to Marathon again, and now it feels like they're trying to figure out what they're going to do after Destiny 2. If I was to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like Sony should just let them go and just be like, see you later. I don't see the advantage of having them anymore. I mean, because didn't they spin off that other game? What was it called? Like Jelly Bears or something? Gummy Bears, something daft like that, into like a separate studio. So they're literally starting from scratch again. They did say that they're making games, so maybe one of them is Destiny 3, and then another one's going to be something else. But I do kind of hope they'll go back to like a hit, not exactly Halo, but like do something with a story, like a story-driven game or something. Do you know what I mean? Not just multiplayer games. But we can hope, can't we? Now, talking about obviously Sony's live service plans, and they might be changing everything like that. Sony has trademarked something called Breaking this week, and a lot of people think this is actually a rebrand of Fairgames from Haven Studios, and I agree. It makes a lot of sense because Fairgames never really connected with anybody. Rebranding it, giving it a new name, obviously it tells you that it's going to be like something about heists or like an extraction game or something like in some sort of infiltration game. But I think the bigger story here is that Sony might be quietly repositioning its live service strategy. You know, we've had Concord Disaster, the Bungie struggles, Marathon's good but not really got the player base that's sticking around, and they've cancelled so many other multiplayer projects as well. The market is way more wary now of types of games like this. I think Sony knows that they can't just throw out CGI trailers anymore and expect hype automatically. Players want to know, why do I want to play this? Why is this different from anything else? And why should I even be kept bothered? Do you know what I mean? But I want to tie this into like the last story now. So before we go, obviously PlayStation has confirmed that they're doing a brand new State of Play on June the 2nd, featuring a much bigger look at Wolverine. And I do also think we're going to see this breaking game here. That's why we've seen the rebrand. We've seen all the social media pages say play breaking or something like that on Instagram, Twitter and stuff like that, Twitch. We're going to see this breaking game at this State of Play. You know, and I will do a separate video about what I think's going to be there. I do think we might see some surprises. It's on for like 90 minutes or something daft like that in it, so they've got a lot to show. There'll be some third party stuff in there as well, and I don't know, I'm kind of suspicious that we might see GTA, but I don't know, let's wait and see. So anyway, that is your weekly gaming news. Let me know down below in the comments which one you've got something to say about, where do you think Bungie's going to go next, and just in general, like, let me know your feelings about Xbox, like what do you think their future's going to be. Let me know down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.